Heretic, a word heavy with smoke and accusation. But it wasn't always a curse. In the beginning, it meant something simple and sacred. From the Greek, haíresis, meaning to choose. A heretic wasn't someone who rebelled against truth. A heretic was someone who dared to choose it for themselves. In Athens, haíresis was a mark of intellect, not defiance. The Stoics had their haíresis. The Cynics had theirs. The Platonists, the Epicureans, each a chosen way of seeing the world. To be heretical was to be thoughtful, to choose one's truth, not inherit another. The Greeks understood something we've forgotten. Curiosity was not division, it was devotion. When Christianity emerged, haíresis still meant a sect or school. The Acts of the Apostles even uses it that way, describing the sect or haíresis of the Pharisees without judgment. But as theological rifts deepened, tone hardened. By the 2nd century, church fathers like Irenaeus of Lyon wrote against heresies, not against unbelief, but against rival interpretations. Error, he said, is a choice. The word haíresis began to darken. Choice itself became suspect. There were always many sects, many branches, many heretical ideas. It was empire that made heresy wrong, not God. When Rome became Christian, unity replaced curiosity. Empire thrives on cohesion, not questioning. The emperors learned that controlling belief was easier than controlling borders. Doctrine became policy. Conformity became law. Haíresis, the right to choose, was rewritten into heresies, a crime against the state of the soul. What began as philosophy became permission. What began as choice became obedience. Centuries later, one quiet scholar rediscovered the courage to choose. John Scotus Eriugena, born in Ireland around 815 CE. Not a firebrand, not a rebel, just a thinker. A man who translated Greek wisdom into Latin, a teacher at court, a poet of the mind. He believed that reason and revelation were two rays of the same light. He wrote, "Authority comes from true reason. True reason does not come from authority." He wasn't trying to start a revolution. He was trying to understand God more clearly. But to question who defines truth was to question who holds power. His book, Paraphesion, On the Division of Nature, was banned, condemned, and buried. He wasn't executed. He was erased. Not because he was dangerous, but because he was right, too calmly. The heretic rarely lives to see their vindication, but they always leave a map. Bruno dreamed of infinite worlds and burned for it. Méliès raged at hypocrisy from within the priesthood. Paine lit the torch of reason in an age of monarchs. Their crime was clarity. Their sin was choice. Each was accused of rejecting truth, when in fact, they were demanding it. Power adapts. It no longer needs fire to burn an idea. It only needs a label. Heretic became radical. Dissenter became traitor. Freethinker became un-American. The Inquisition wears a new mask. It scrolls. It trends. It censors. Control the words, and you control the world. Every age invents its heresies, and every empire needs its heretics. But the word still belongs to us. A heretic of today is not one who rejects truth, but one who refuses to inherit lies. To be a heretic is to think without fear, to question without apology, to choose the harder path of understanding over the easier path of obedience. Every truth we now hold sacred began as someone else's heresy. Freedom doesn't start with revolution. It starts with a choice. So if, or when, they call you heretic, smile. It means you've remembered what empire forgot, that the divine lives not in obedience, but in understanding. To choose is to be free.